All right, Alex, take it away.
Right, hold on, my computer's doing something. All right, good morning, everyone. I am so happy to have you all here, and I'm so excited for this turnout. I just want to take a moment to talk a little bit about Bob Lucido, one of the #1 Keller Williams luxury agents in the world. He has a wealth of knowledge, him and Tracy, and I'm so happy for all of you to be on here.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that. And then, Bob, I had spoken to Jack yesterday, your right-hand man, and he told me, obviously, you've been doing a lot of these calls. So I wanted to just kind of let you take the reins. He said that you had a lot of stuff you prepared to talk about. So if you want to just go ahead and get started, I'm sure we'll have some questions and things throughout the call, but take it away, sir.
Sure, great. Glad to be here. First off, I hope everybody is safe and healthy and trying to adapt to this new world of what we're doing in real estate right now. How many people, by the way, are approximately on the call?
Looks like we've got about 75. There's more people jumping on, so we'll probably get close to 100 here in the next couple minutes.
Awesome. Well, first off, I've been doing this for 44 years. I've been through 21% interest rates, been through the dot-com crash. The worst was 2008. Never seen anything quite like this that has come in so quickly, and hopefully we'll ease out of it more quickly than we did to 2008. You've all been on a lot of webinars. You've listened to different people, and I guess you've heard many of the things probably I'll say today, but one of the things I want to focus on is encouraging you all to get back to the basics. I've never been one to think that this is a very sophisticated business. I just think that I've seen so many people that become successful through hard work and through attention to detail and following the basics. Vince Lombardi was very popular for that in his coaching style when he would talk about we're going to focus on blocking and tackling, not sophisticated plays, but the very basics. And a couple of things that I've been hearing around the country and that I've been trying to focus on myself is, number one, still getting into a regular routine. You all might want to write down a couple of these things. Number one, I think that focusing on trying to keep your regular routine. I get up every day, shower, put a suit on, go to work. I believe that Dennis Waitley, I heard this quote from him maybe back when I was 20, 21 years old, and that is positive self-expectancy. I expect something great to happen every day, and I really mean that. I expect to go on a listing every single day. I have a listing appointment today at 12 noon. Of course, I'm going to be wearing a mask and gloves, been doing it very safely, but I prepare for the day. I think I try not to get caught up in, well, just wear sweatpants around and just be on the computer all day long. You get caught up in busy work. Sometimes there's a need for that, but I like to prepare for the day. I like to prepare that I'm going to win today and I'm going to have a listing. I'm anticipating, I don't know where, but I'm going to have another listing sometime later today or this evening. I'm preparing for that because I'm focusing on the basics. Just some of the things that I'm doing is, one, sticking to a routine, exercising in the morning, doing my morning reading and rituals. I'm trying to stay into the pattern of some type of normalcy in my life. Number two, I'm staying connected to a lot of different people. I'm the biggest student in the room. I'm always learning and trying to grab an idea or hear from somebody else. This morning at 11 o'clock, our expansion team partners and at the hub, we have the pleasure of having my good friend, who Tracy and I think the world of, Jeff Glover, going to speak to us about database. And here's a guy who never focused. He and I, we hit it off years ago because we were some of the two people that were still in production where these other guys weren't in production. We said, we think we have an advantage because we know what you're experiencing every day. We're living in the trenches like everybody else. So Jeff and I created a bond early on, and he never focused on database. In the last year and a half, that has been his mantra, is the database. And you're going to hear some things today at 11 o'clock, my expansion partners, about database and some of the things he's done. He's increased his business significantly just through working his database and his sphere and having a plan of action around that. We're getting more focused and intentional on Tracy and I's personal sphere. So I think that you've got to have your ritual, you've got to have your activities every day, and get back to the basics. Now, two of the things that I really love, and two of my biggest ways of generating personal business, because I love giving leads out to the team, are open houses, which we can't do right now. Hopefully we're going to be able to start in about 2 or 3 weeks. not able to do an open house. So we've started doing virtual open houses, which I'll encourage you to do. I just did my first one. And thanks to our great videographer, I think it turned out very well. And number two, I love going after expired, people that have failed. So we're not able to knock on those doors anymore. So I've come up with a technique to have my assistant drop off something there, but we don't knock. So, you know, those two ways of generating business have been decreased. So I'm doing other things to generate business right now. So, you know, this is hard for everybody. I want you all to know something, that whatever you're experiencing, I'm going through it. Gary Keller's going through it. Everybody around the country is going through it. But we will come out of this. It'll be gradual. But the people that prepare and focus on their database and on their sphere and stay focused every day. We go in the office. There's like 5 of us that are in the office every day. Tracy, myself, and a couple other people. I know there's certain people that are really working this on a regular basis. And I know they're making sales. In fact, we sold 20 at the hub last weekend, 20 sales. And we've got one person who has sold like 5 in the last 2 or 3 weeks. How do they do that? By focusing on the basics and not giving up. So surrounding yourself, by the way, with positive people and positive energy out there is incredibly important, because it's so easy to get down on something like this. I refuse to go there, to go into the weeds. Yes, it's frustrating. And sometimes Tracy and I look at each other and say, man, we can't go out to dinner. We can't do this. We can't do, there's so much that you're limited, but you know, we just get creative and find other things to do professionally and personally. But we will come out of this. This too shall pass. But the people that are taking it as a vacation, or not staying focused and staying in sweatpants all day long and not, you know, preparing for business, I think they're going to hurt from this. And so I'm just going to reach out to everybody and say, focus on your basics, get back to your database, surround yourself with a strong sphere, and know that we're all in this together. And there are other people around the country and on our team that are selling. I have some people, Tracy, you can comment on this. I think we have one person that's had 9 in the last 30 days. And then we've had several people have 0. So what is the difference? I love studying successful people. What is the difference between those people that are making it and those people that aren't? It's not a degree that they got at Harvard. It is they took action. So go ahead.
When you talk about getting reconnected or re-engaged, or even ramping up the engagement with your database, what does that look like for you and your team right now? What are you guys doing around that?
Well, first off, one of the biggest things that we're doing, and give credit to Jack and Tracy for implementing this, and I think this has been a game changer. First off, we started off with every Tuesday, we have a team meeting. In fact, today at 11, we have a team meeting, Zoom, and we've brought in our first guest speaker, which is Jeff. Like to make these meaningful and impactful so people can walk away encouraged and inspired. Second is that every day during the week, we have a communication call from 9 to 9:30. Tracy created a check-in call where we have different topics. Monday, Samina, who's awesome on our team, she focuses really just on database, and she's done an amazing job. She did a video or a presentation on texting and sending video, email, and texting videos after open houses or meeting people, and how to use BombBomb and all these different programs to help elevate your business. Last Thursday, we had one of our team members, Wendy, who's an attorney, speak about forbearance. So we're bringing powerful information just for half an hour every day for people to get checked in, to get into that same routine, so that they don't wander from the business, or that their numbers are so depressed that they got to get another job. We want people to survive and thrive coming out of this. My numbers are down. Look, guys, I probably list more houses than anybody around the country. My numbers are down. I'm not going to tell you that, you know, we're having record sales. I'm going to always tell you the truth. But my activities are higher. I've got into new habits. I used to always write thank you notes. And I still do, but I got away from it. Normally send a text or an email, and my handwriting's not that good. I've written more thank you notes in the last 2 weeks than I have, I think, in the last 2 years. So getting back to the basics, and I think that that's critically important. I know it sounds like some people will tune this out and say, that's just too basic. Surrounding yourself with positive people. I refuse to get anywhere negative. There's enough negative stuff out there. Don't let people bring you down. So the check-ins we're doing each week, number one. Number two, every day I'm shutting my door, going in my office. I'm in there with one purpose. I'm an appointment machine. One, I want to call people, come from Get Gratitude. I'm easier on the sales presentation. I'm coming from contribution, coming from what can I do to assist you? Is there anything we can do here to help you at all? And sometimes I'm not even selling. When I call the FISBOs who are expired, I'm selling. When I touch base with my database, I'm coming from contribution. But I'm making massive phone calls, and I feel better when I take action. I think you will be too. It's kind of like when you're exercising. The more you exercise, the better you feel. And I just feel like I'm moving towards a goal.
I love that. I mean, Bob, you and Tracy and Jack, you run one of the largest real estate teams in the country for any brand. And, you're the head of the organization, and you're still in there every day, doubling down on your lead generation, doubling down on your activities. And I think that message is so important to all of our agents, is that if you're finding the time to do that, then really every single person in this industry should be doing that right now. And I know we keep hearing that message, but I think it still hasn't gotten through to everybody. Now is the time you have to do that. Absolutely.
And I tell you, you'll come out of this. I remember this very wealthy man who was my mentor and like a second father to me when I was 22, 23 years old. I'd sell 5 houses a week in this new home community. I'd lose 4, net 1. It was frustrating. We'd write a contract at 13, and by the end of the week, the rates were 15. He said, Bob, what goes up must come down, and this is going to make you to turn you into one of the most powerful salespeople on the planet. And I just didn't resonate. I'm like, Mr. Dubin, this is so frustrating. I'm calling people. I'm showing tax benefits. I'm doing this. But it did make me so much better going through that challenging situation rather than just doing typical sales. So you all will be awesome coming out of this. Now, I've never done a virtual open house. We're doing things now we've never done before. So if you can take this new digital platform that we're implementing, and thank God I've got an incredible team that's putting all this together, because that's not my area of expertise. You take this plus the other stuff that you were doing and you combine it, you're going to come out of this better than ever. But the key is to stick to the basics, stick to your reading, stick to your positive activities, and don't get discouraged. But every day I prepare for success. That's why you always see me in a coat and tie. I am ready to list. I'm going to get a listing today. I have an appointment today at noon, but I am going to get another listing appointment somehow today. I don't know who it is, but I'm going to get one today. One of the things I wanted to ask you, because as you brought up earlier in the call, you take probably more listings than anybody in the country, right? You're a listing machine. You all know that. So you're having a lot of those listing conversations with sellers who are having some trepidation about what's happening in the market, whether it's the housing market, the stock market, or just the general health crisis we're going through. What's the message you're giving them to let them know that, no, you don't want to wait. We're going into a shift, or we're moving through a shift. Waiting is probably the worst thing you can do. And what does that conversation look like? Great question. You all are the counselors. People look to you to be their expert. Kind of like when you go to the doctor, you go to the lawyer, you look for your expert to guide you in the process. So my strong beliefs are this. Number one, I tell people, look, we're still selling houses. It's different. We've got a unique process. It's different than it was, but people are still selling and people are still buying. You're getting the really interested buyers that are out there. You're getting just quality. You're not getting that quantity. Number two, it's a great time to list your house. Why? There's not that much inventory. So I believe this, and things that I read, I believe there's going to be a tsunami of houses coming on the market in another 30 days, 60 days. We're going to have a late spring market when we come out of this, and you're going to open up your state, and people are going to feel comfortable coming out again. That the new norm, I mean, you look at China and some of these other countries, they've always been wearing masks in their country for, not just during this terrible virus, but for years. I think that might be a new norm in our society, and we're going to just adapt to a new norm. So I let people know that I think this is a great time. For sellers, I think it's an awesome time to go on. I do believe that there could be a lot of houses going on the market. There could be, I don't think we're going to experience the short sale foreclosures we did in 2008 to 2011. But just reading something this morning, that they're expecting some compression on pricing, that there will be some reduction in pricing. Now, there'll probably be some. Now, the good areas will probably stand up a little stronger. So I'm letting people know that they want to know, how is it? So when people talk to me, I let them know, hey, they want to hear success stories. I say, look, we sold 20 houses last weekend. They go, really? I'm like, yeah, it's a great time to go on the market, but your safety is most important to us. So here's what we're doing. Only pre-scheduled, only appointments that people are pre-approved. Number 2, only 2 people with the agent, no children at all. Number 3, they got to wear booties. They got to wear, we want them wearing gloves, hand sanitizer. They can't touch anything in there. They can't sit down, can't use your bathrooms. They got to go in and out. You turn the lights on, you open the doors, and then wipe down your house when you're leaving. But we're encouraging the agents not to touch anything when they're in there. So it's a little bit different, but we're letting them know that we're doing this for their safety. And if you price it right and do it right, we'll sell it in a week, and you won't have to go through this process very long. So doing it right the first time is critically important, because you don't want it to sit on the market for months.
I love that you're setting the expectation with them up front, so there's no surprises or upsets or anything like that. You're letting them know ahead of time, here's what's going to happen. So I think that's really important, is that we communicate with our clients at that level, whether it's buyers or sellers.
Yep. We're letting them know that, if the buyers have a fever or not healthy, then obviously they can't come into the house. So we're setting the expectation that this is a comfortable process. Sure, there's some people saying, I wouldn't sell my house for any reason whatsoever. Great. So what I'm doing now is I'm setting up more appointments for appointments to call later. So Gary said this: if you want to make $1 million, you need 9 appointments a week. You want to make $1 million income, he's got it down to the science. You gotta have 9 appointments per week. I'm an appointment machine. Encourage you all to be the same. I'm getting a lot of people say, Bob, no, we're not ready. We're gonna ride this thing out. I'm great. You know something? And I don't try to sell them. Well, no, you got to sell now because you'll have resistance. I'm like, understand how you feel. Tell you what, why don't I check in with you, say early July. You can ask my assistant. I've got so many days where I've got callbacks for people on my calendar to call back to set an appointment. And if it's eased up, then feeling good, then we'll go a little harder for the appointment. But you want to stay active in your appointments. I've got more appointments now on the phone to call people than I've ever had before. My appointments are down for listing appointments, and that concerns me, because what you do today, I know my income is in 30 days or 60 days is going to be a reflection of what I do today. That's why I always try to list a house a day. Tracy and I think we listed 350 or 400 houses last year, something like that. And I try to list, because I know if I list a house today, I'm getting paid, my paycheck in 45 days will be here. If I don't get a listing, I know that day is going to be blank. So I'm always trying to fill up the calendar.
That's awesome. And I do want to, I know we have about 10 minutes left, so we've got a bunch of people on the call. So I did want to leave some time just for some Q&A from the group. So Jamie or anyone else on the call, do you guys have any questions for Bob?
Hey, Bob. Tim Corcoran, how are you?
Hey, you're doing great, Tim.
Good. Everything's good. Are you doing virtual listing appointments, or you're going right to the house meeting people?
Great question. Our team is doing a lot of virtual listing appointments and buying appointments, and I applaud that. It's whatever you're comfortable with. I'm comfortable. I made a commitment to my family that I always wear a mask. I've got 2 N95s in my car. I've got rubber gloves. I prefer being there. I prefer meeting them there. And today the people said, Bob, we'll have a mask for. I'm like, no, I got one of my own. We're fine. We keep a distance, and we'll go through the house. We're sitting apart when we're signing papers, and sometimes I'll just sign the papers later and do it digitally. So I prefer to be there personally. That's what I prefer.
Hi, Bob. It's Brandy Coffee. How are you?
Hey, Brandy. Great to hear from you, and I'm following what you're doing. You've got a lot of exciting things out there, and let me just interrupt and say, guys, ladies, this is a great opportunity for to tap in and watch what other people are doing, and you'll just learn different things from different people. Like I'm learning from Brandy. I follow her material. I follow your material regularly.
Thank you, Bob. I'm just curious what you're seeing in your area, specifically in the Maryland area with the luxury market. Great
question. Tracy and I, we just listed it, by the way, our first house, and I've never met the owner. Lovely people. They're in Florida for $2.9 million. And we sold the house down the street. They called us. We went in there, met their neighbors. We did the staging. We got contractors in. They trusted us with everything. It's one of the best listings we've ever had. Just going on the market. Don't have any showings yet. It's 2.9 million. The luxury market, I would say right now, we've had a couple people want to take their houses off the market. My friend who owns Elite Auctions, Randy, they're blowing up. They're doing a lot of auctions right now, and a lot of people want to go the auction route because it's a quicker sale. So so far, I may ask Tracy. Tracy, on our luxury side, would you say that? How would you answer Brandy's question?
I think the luxury, good morning, everyone, first of all. The luxury, I think it all pertains back to the loan situation. I think there's some attention going around the jumbo loans. A couple that we have under contract now that are higher priced, that are they're being financed with jumbo loans. Some of the funding is not liquid, so I think that might be an issue with a luxury home being sold. But that being said, there's plenty of people that are cash buyers. And, you know, I go back to the premise that the buyers out there today are very intentional. And if they're going to buy, they're going to buy. And it doesn't matter if, you know, there's the coronavirus or not. If they find a house that they want and they have the ability to buy it, you know, they're going to purchase it. So we're just, you know, we're watching very carefully well, actually all of our contracts, but the ones that are a little bit more complicated with financing, we're watching them very closely, checking in with the lenders, making sure you know, we've had some issues with appraisals, and everyone's doing drive-by appraisals. And, you know, we don't have the opportunity to meet the appraiser. We can send comps, but it's not the same thing as getting into the house. So everything we do is very intentional, and it's very, we're down to the basics with whether it's a listing or whether it's a contract, you know, a buyer under contract, that you've got to have the patience in this market. And I think this is how it's going to weed out a lot of the agents who are not really, you know, ready for this challenge, because it is a challenge out there. I mean, we still are selling. You know, our team's selling. Some of our agents that they're dual careered and their other career is shut down. So they're thanking the Lord that they've got this career in real estate, and they're really like jumping into it full stream. But I think no matter whether it's luxury or, you know, a $200,000 house, like, you just have to watch every single part of the listing and the contract to make sure you're supporting your buyer, you're supporting your seller, and you're there. I mean, you're communicating. Communication is so key right now. People they're nervous. They're nervous being on the market. They're nervous being under contract. And our job, as Bob said earlier, we're like, you know, we put our other hat on. We're like the therapist. So it's you know, a lot of patience. Everything is with intention. And you know, high-end homes are selling. It's just, you know, not like they would be in the normal spring market. Don't know if that helps.
Thanks for the question, Brandy. I think it brings up a huge opportunity for these. I'm actually going after now when luxury expireds, and contacting them, because I think there's a huge opportunity for me to capture business that other agents have failed right now. So huge opportunity there, I believe. Any other, what other questions?
Yeah, we've got Go ahead, Maureen.
It's Maureen Johnson. Hi. Thanks for doing this.
Sure.
So my question to you is, you spoke earlier about working with FSBOs and expireds, and that your conversation is a little bit different, and it's more sales oriented, but I would imagine that it's a bit softer than normal. Can you kind of just take us through your opening conversation with those folks?
Sure. By the way, I encourage you all to drive home differently, a different route. Tracy just on a route coming home and right near her house found a great FSBO, wrote it down to Bob, you know, contact this person. I met him at the house, and we listed this, it's $650,000. So I always tell people there's 3 sales that we have to make. We got to sell the buyer, the home inspector, and the appraiser. But now there's a 4th sale, and that's dealing with COVID. So we let them know that, look, during boom times when it's easy to make a sale, maybe you consider FSBO. I still don't think it's a good time, but maybe you do that. But during these times, it would be foolish for you to ever consider one of those situations. You want to have pre-approved buyers. You want to make sure you have the proper documentation on the contracts. Then with the home inspections, you want to make sure that your contractors are licensed, certified, and they're going to take care of your home. So there's so much concern for safety out there. You should never go alone. That's especially in this market. And we, again, show them that we're going to net them more. It's not the commission. It's really how much more are you going to net? And we show them, look, we're going to net this. Now, what I've done also in some others is I've said, look, if I don't sell it in 30 days, I'll reduce my fee. I'm in this together with you. They like that. They like where you put your money where your mouth is. So just closed 2 FSBOs in the last 2 weeks, which is awesome. And now is a great time to get that business because they're not skilled. I asked him, I said, do you feel comfortable doing this? I said, no, not really. But I said, what's your motivation? Just save commissions. FSBOs are the cheapest people. That's all they want is the commission. So if you can maneuver something, either give money back if you don't sell it in 30 days. Actually, I got a full commission on this FSBO, but I told me he needed to do some work to the house. Got my contractor over there, and I paid I'm going to deduct a few thousand from my commission to pay for some of the repairs. So I took care of helping him because he was leaving the next day, believe it or not, to move to Alabama. I'm like, you're going to be in Alabama and you're trying to sell a house here during COVID? So anyway, there's 4 sales you got to make: buyer, home inspector, appraiser, and now you got to deal with COVID.
Awesome. And then Logan, it looks like you have a question.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm just going off of Brandy's luxury question. Thank you again for doing this. I'm actually up in New Hampshire selling, and my luxury market here is on fire, all cash buyers. I think they left Florida. So my question is that, do you see in your kind of an urban area, like people relocating in the future, like getting out of denser populated areas?
That's a great question. We've got a lot of people here in our luxury market, and we're very grateful. We have several teams down in Florida, and I got to tell you, Alex is our team leader, and we love her in Sarasota. I love your energy and enthusiasm, Alex. So thank you for what you're doing there. A lot of our clients here are tired of the high taxes. So New York, Maryland, New Jersey, and we're a more dense population. I think a lot of people are thinking about your state. So I think you all in Florida might have a competitive advantage over everybody else. So I wouldn't mind moving down there myself. I love your state.
All right.
We'll have you, Bob. We'll take you.
There we go. So to answer your question, I think this is going to help your state. I think that people are taxation, weather, more open space. I think people will consider that.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
And then I know we're coming right up at the end of our call. Alex, didn't you have something you wanted to ask Bob to close us out?
Not really. I had a question about your script that you use for expireds. I know you have shared it with me before, but I definitely think that it's super powerful and has helped me win listings. And I was going to have you share that, but you already did. So.
Well, that was the for sale by owner. For expireds, again, when I'm able to do that, I like meeting. I don't like sending letters or really calling. I like going to the door because that way your best asset, the easiest thing to get rid of is a letter. The next easiest thing to get rid of is a phone call. The hardest thing to get rid of is a body. So if you're there and you have a nice presentation and you're sincere, essentially it's very simple. I'm sorry that your last realtor was not successful. We're very dominant in this area. We sell a lot of houses. I know I can sell your house in 30 days or less. I'll buy it for cash. Could I come in and chat with you? So you got to do a script that feels comfortable for you. I always like to do the feel, felt, found. People say, I like to ask questions. What did you not like about your last situation? The greatest sales question I've ever heard in my life was really from Tony Robbins. He said, if you had to paint, this is the question. When you're asking a customer, if you had to paint a picture of the perfect real estate agent to sell your home, Tell me what that agent looks like. And listen to what that seller says. Communication, open houses, they'll list it. You need to sell into that vision. So when I'm presenting to expireds, yes, I've got certain things that I say, but I really try to listen to what they're saying and what is their greatest concerns. And then I sell into that vision. They want to know that you're tied with them. Hey, look, I'll sell your house. I have a guaranteed sales program, or I'll buy it for cash. You can use that. I'll sell your house, or I'll in 30 days, or I'll lower my commission. What didn't you like about the last listing agent? They never communicate with me. What you're getting from me is going to be, I'm going to over communicate with you. And we're getting back to the old sales techniques. We're going to actually have to sell your home. We got to sell the agents that were in there with their customers. We're just not putting in the MLS, and that's what you've had before. You need to hire a real pro, and that's why you need Alex or whoever, or Brandy, whoever's giving the presentation.
Awesome. Hey, Bob, thank you so much. I know we could have done this for hours and hours and hours, but I want to be respectful of your time. Thank you for being with us this morning. We're going to, if you're okay with that, share this call with the rest of the office that couldn't jump on with us this morning. I know that they'll get a lot out of it. And then, of course, hope everybody up in your area is safe and well. And we appreciate having you on so much today. Thank you for your time.
Well, thanks so much for having me here, everybody. I'm honored to be here. I just want to close with this. I say this over and over again. I'm no one really special. Whatever I've done, you can do. It all comes down to the basics, taking action, surrounding yourself with positive, energetic people. I'm so blessed to have Tracy, Jack, Alex in my life and being partners with. Surround yourself with energy. You've got a great office there and great leadership. This is the time to buckle down, get back to your basics, and know that you can do this, and that everybody else, they say misery loves company. Well, it's true. Everybody is feeling the same thing you're feeling. I'm frustrated too. But I have to put on an enthusiastic presentation every day and feel good because I don't like the alternative. You can do this, and we're going to come out of this, and it's going to be gradual. Then all of a sudden it's going to happen, and you're going to look back, and this is going to be a memory. So you all can do it. Don't give up, and stay healthy and safe, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Bob. Have a great
Thanks.
day.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Bob.
it.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And thank you, Alex, for bringing